Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on PTCGO. As you can see, I'm starting off this match favored to lose actually, and it's going to be a tails, and I'm going to choose to go second here, as you'll see why when you see what type of deck I'm running. So you see Trevenant here, so that should be some clue, and a strong energy. And I'm going to mulligan twice here on the opening. And I start off with a Mr. Mime, possibly the worst card I could have started off with. So this is a Donphan Trevenant. So the whole point of this is you attack with a Donphan spinning turn and then switch into a Trevenant, which is what the attack has the effect of doing. You switch into one of your bench Pokemon and you do leave Trevenant up there for an item lock effect. So my opponent is playing some sort of Darkrai Yveltal, most likely, with Raichu teched in. He's going to play Darkrai. He has one on the bench and a Pikachu, and then plays a Hypnotoxic Lacer. He's going to Muscle Band on the Pikachu, and unfortunately it looks like he doesn't get the heads on sleep, so it's good for me. So I'm actually going to play a Karina here. I desperately need something else to send up or to have on the bench, and I'm going to bring out Landorus, the non-EX kind that was just released, and bring out a Muscle Band along with it. I will play a Float Stone on the active Mr. Mime so I can retreat it, setting up Landorus, and with that I can also play down the Muscle Band, and with that strong energy I can do quite a bit of damage here. So we're actually going to see an attack for 120 on turn 1 due to the weakness. So it actually would have hit for 60 on anything else, but that's a really strong attack thanks to all the support cards that are available in the Furious Fist set. So my opponent is going to play a second laser, so this is really annoying because now he gets the heads on sleep, and we see him discard 2 cards to get a Jirachi with an Ultra Ball. So it's going to allow him to use Stellar Guidance and get a supporter, and he chooses to go for Juniper. So that's a decent start for him. I unfortunately don't have any supporters, and the only one I have access to via Dowsing Machine is Karina. So he's actually going to bench a Bouffalant and an Yveltal here. So I have a few options here. I can play this Escape Rope to get out of the poison, which is what I'm going to do, and hope he sends up something I can knock out. Since Mr. Mime has that Float Stone, I can just retreat it, and now we'll send Landorus back up into the active spot. And here I can also play Dowsing Machine, so I'll get rid of an Evo Soda and a Trevenant to get Karina back. So with this I can actually get another fighting Pokemon. This time I'm going to go for a Donphan since I want to get those set up. I also want to get Trevenant set up, but I don't have a Phantump. So here I can also get an Evo Soda. So next turn I will have a Phanpy evolve into Donphan. So I will use Shout of Power here for 100 damage thanks to weakness, and I will get my first prize. Unfortunately it's Fighting Stadium, so this will give all my fighting Pokemon plus 20 to their attacks. And unfortunately my opponent here plays a third laser, so this is already being incredibly annoying. But he doesn't get the sleep flip here. He's going to Juniper. He has a Pikachu in the active spot. We see him get rid of quite a few things here. He's going to evolve into Raichu here, play down a Darkness Energy, and then play an Energy Switch. So with this combination he can actually Circle Circuit for the knockout, but first he's going to Bicycle for 1 card, and I actually lose my Landorus to a Raichu. That's unfortunate. We'll send up Mr. Mime since it has a Float Stone. Here I'm going to Evo Soda, bringing up a Donphan so I can evolve. I don't have any energy or any means of getting it, unfortunately. I can play this Pokemon Fan Club to get 2 Pokemon out of my deck, 2 basics. I will go for Phantom and Suicune, just in case I need to stall with Suicune. That might be a good thing to do. So play those two guys down, and I'm going to not play the Fighting Stadium. I figured he's played enough Hypnotoxic Lasers where it's unlikely one will get played next turn, and he really doesn't need to play it in order to knock out Mr. Mime. I'll instead save that for a better time. So my opponent actually is going to retreat into Yveltal, energy switch onto it from that Raichu, so now he can Y-Cyclone or Evil Ball. Either way he gets the knockout. And then we see a Juniper. He's running through his deck rather quickly. He's going to play Starling Megaphone. Not sure why, since he can knock out Mr. Mime. It was really, maybe he just wanted to burn that card, but otherwise not a really opportune time to play that, since I do play the type of deck that will play several tools, and I kind of rely heavily on Floatstone. So I'm sort of glad he did just blow that card there. So I'm going to send up Suicune, forcing him to have another Dark Energy to put on the active in order to retreat. And I finally get that Strong Energy. So I'm going to knock out the Fighting Stadium, evolve into Trevenant, and I can put this Strong Energy on Donphan, but I can do absolutely nothing else, unfortunately. So I can just pass my turn. Don't have a means of retreating. I do play Escape Rope and Floatstone, but with a hand of 0, that doesn't matter. So my opponent is going to Ultra Ball. He brings up something. It's actually a Mewtwo, but thanks to the lag I couldn't see it quite immediately. And he's going to retreat manually, going into Pikachu, and then attach any Dark Energy manually, and do Circle Circuit for 120 and the knockout. So with this I can actually send up Donphan. Now my opponent has taken 3 prizes, unfortunately, but I managed to top deck a Chorus. So here I was lucky enough to get that Floatstone, so I can play that and start the item lock, but this may or may not be a bit late in the game to start a comeback. So I'm going to Ultra Ball, getting rid of DCE and a Karina, because I need to start setting up a replacement Donphan, since he kind of has a lot of potential attackers. So I will hit with Spinning Turn for 120, getting a knockout, and sending up Trevenant, and taking my second prize. So now my opponent is going to send up Yveltal. I'm really hoping he doesn't have another energy switch. He's going to attach a Dark Energy, bench that Mewtwo, and just pass. So the problem with Yveltal is that it does resist fighting here. So evolve into Donphan, bench a Phantump, play a Starling Megaphone just to burn it, since I will be Junipering. And with this Juniper, I managed to get a few cards I can potentially make use of next turn, like that Lysander. So I'll be able to retreat here, go into Donphan with the Strong Energy, and just attack with Spinning Turn, hitting for unfortunately only 60, even after the added damage of Strong Energy and Fighting Stadium, and then just retreating into Trevenant. So now my opponent is going to attach a second Dark Energy and hit me with Evil Ball for weakness, and that sends Trevenant right into the discard pile. So I'm going to promote Donphan here, and here I have an interesting choice. So I can Lysander up the damaged Darkrai or a Pikachu, and that Pikachu on the bench, and knock it out. But that does give him the opportunity to potentially return the knockout with an the Yveltal that's in the active, if he has a means of switching that energy, and or he has a DCE or any combination therein. So I'm kind of contemplating doing something else. I can use Lysander to get Jirachi into the active spot, knowing that I can't get the knockout, but I will get it stuck in the active, hopefully. Or at least force him to have the energy on it in order to retreat it. Since Dark Patch is falling out of the format, some decks have stopped playing it, although I don't think PTCGO is forcing you to do that. I'm assuming my opponent doesn't play it here, so he doesn't have the regular Yveltal, so he probably has no way of getting dark energies back into play. So I'm assuming that any energy he does play onto Jirachi will be a wasted one, and I'm hoping he's willing to do this, or he's willing to just let it get knocked out. So I go into Trevenant after spinning turning for 80, and he's going to actually attach a darkness energy onto Jirachi and be able to retreat it, unfortunately. And he sends my Trevenant into the discard. So maybe that was a huge misplay right there. Maybe I should have gone for the Darkrai knockout, but I decided to chance it. So here I'm going to get a DCE. I go into my Donphan. So with this, I can actually get this knockout on this Yveltal. So I can hit for wreck, discarding my stadium card and doing 140 in the process, and getting 2 prizes. So now I'm only down by 1, but my opponent only needs 1. So here he's going to send up Mewtwo, and if he has a DCE, he has the game, and yeah, he does. So I really should have gotten the knockout on Darkrai and won the game that way, but I guess you learn from your mistakes, or hope that I do. And here my opponent just going for the Hypnotoxic Laser. That's just mere overkill. He would have done 140. Anyway, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that match.